Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Master Duel Shining Sarcophagus deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Meli. And this deck is an extremely fun deck to play on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel because we finally have Red Eye's Dark Dragoon back. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. And definitely give Meli some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Gandora G. Gandora G is an amazing 3-of boss monster in the deck that's actually a board wipe. This card has the ability to gain 300 attack for each banished card, and also if you control Shining Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card also has the effect that you can pay half your life points to destroy as many cards on the field as possible, and we do banish them. Then special summon a level 7 or lower monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck and increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect, which is a great effect to instantly bring out your copy of Silent Swordsman or Silent Magician and increase their levels to make them absolutely massive. We then play 2 copies of Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic. This card is a great extender in the deck that also becomes Dark Magician while it's on the field, making it super easy to step into Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. This card has the ability of Shining Sarcophagus is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is destroyed by a card effect, and a level 5 or higher monster is on the field, you can special summon this card, then set a spell or trap from your deck that mentions Dark Magician, which is Secrets of Dark Magic. And when this card is destroyed, you're usually going to have Gandora G on your side of the field, meaning you already have a dragon and your Dark Magician on your side of the field, so you can activate Secrets of Dark Magic during the opponent's turn and step into a copy of Dragoon, which is so cool. We then play 3 copies of Gadget Trio. Gadget Trio is the best normal summon in the entire deck. This card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Shining Sarcophagus or a spell or trap card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, which you're usually searching your copy of Shining Sarcophagus off this card's effect. We then play 2 copies of Silent Magician Zero. Silent Magician Zero is amazing in this deck because this card is actually a spell negate. If your opponent draws a card, increase this card's level by the number of cards drawn, which is a really cool ability, and while this card's level is higher than its original level, it gains 500 attack points times the difference. Also, when your opponent activates a spell card or effect while you control Shining Sarcophagus, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Silent Swordsman Zero. Silent Swordsman Zero is really good in the deck as a 1-of because this card is basically targeting protection, and also during the standby phase increases card's level by 1, which is a great ability. We then play 3 copies of Mseti. Mseti is great in this deck to help you go in for rank 8 plays, and it's also really good in this build just to summon as a boss monster. As if you control King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from your graveyard to your side of the field, and it also has the ability that you can send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, including this card, add a King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, then draw a card, which is a really cool thing to be able to do, especially with this deck, because we're already playing Shining Sarcophagus, why not play King Sarcophagus as well, which is so cool and kind of goes with the theme, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of Happy. Happy is great in the deck just to be able to summon out to your side of the field using your copy of King Sarcophagus, and it's a great card to be able to play because this card can special summon itself back from the graveyard if you control King Sarcophagus. We then play a single copy of Blessing of Horus. Blessing of Horus is amazing in this deck as a 1-of just to summon back to your side of the field, as I have a really spicy tech card in the extract that you can actually summon using your Horus cards that will actually help you get into your Shining Sarcophagus engine, which is really nice. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is really good as a 3-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. And since it is a Master Duel deck profile, we are also playing 3 copies of Max C. Max C is extremely important in this deck since it is a Master Duel deck profile. You gotta play Max C, and it's really good to basically help us draw a card every time our opponent special summons. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. Secrets of Dark Magic is amazing and actually helps us step into our copy of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, because our Dark Magician will actually set this card out to our side of the field, which is an amazing thing about this card. And this card is basically a fusion quick play spell that we can activate to step into our copy of Dragoon using our copy of Gandora G plus our copy of the Dark Magician. We then play a single copy of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is great in the deck just to stop your opponent's hand traps, so we can go in for all of our plays. We're also playing 2 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is extremely important in the deck as a 2-up to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps where we're going in for all of our plays. We then play 2 copies of King Sarcophagus. King Sarcophagus is amazing in the deck to be able to work with our Horus engine, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need in the deck, because you're usually searching this card off of Imseti, and it's a great card that you want to have on your side of the field so you can summon your Horus monsters back from the graveyard and go into some really awesome plays. We then play 2 copies of Ties That Bind. Ties That Bind is really good in the deck as a 2-0 because this card has the ability, if you control Shining Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions it, you can special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower monsters with different names that mention Shining Sarcophagus from your hand or deck. Also, for the rest of your turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extract, which is totally fine because this card is just really good to help you get your copy of your silent monsters out on your side of the field by using your copy of your Gadget Trio as the monster you're going to control. Activate this card, we have Shining Sarcophagus on the field, summon out your copy of Silent Magician and Silent Swordsman so that you can basically get a spell negate and a targeting negate, which is so cool to be able to do. We then play 2 copies of Turn Silence. Turn Silence is an amazing 2-of in the deck that actually is a negate. This card has the ability to let you target a face-up monster you control and increases level by 3. Also, if you activated this card in response to your opponent's monster effect activation while you control Shining Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions it, you negate that opponent's monster's effect, which is a great effect to be able to use just to make sure your plays are going to go through. We then play 3 copies of Future Silence. This card is basically Rhoda for the deck, letting you search out one of your monsters that mention Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, which is such a cool effect. We then also play 3 copies of the main card, Shining Sarcophagus. This card is so important for the deck, and what the entire deck revolves around, this card has the ability cannot be destroyed by monster effects, meaning your copy of Gandora will not destroy it when it activates. Also, this card has the ability to only use a Falling Effects card once per turn. During the main phase, you can add a card that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is such a cool ability to instantly get the exact card you need off this card's effect. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is an amazing 3-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. This card is really good in the deck overall, and just works really well with this particular build. Just stop your opponent's monster effects so we can basically go in for our plays. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with a single copy of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is an amazing walking negate that's super easy to go into by just having your copy of Shining Sarcophagus on your side of the field and a Gandora G, and your copy of Dark Magician. You can basically step into this card by using your copy of Gandora G to board wipe the field. You can basically destroy your copy of Dark Magician. It will bring itself back to your side of the field and set Secrets of Dark Magic to your side of the field, so you can activate it later on to be able to step into a copy of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon using Gandora G plus your copy of Dark Magician. If you guys would like to check out some combos for this deck as well, I do have 3 combos you need to know to play this deck on the channel, which you guys should definitely check out. But this card is amazing because it's just a walking negate and it's super easy to summon. We then play a single copy of number 38. Number 38 is really good in the deck as a 1-of, just in case you need to make a spell negate, and it's really helpful in this particular build. We then play a single copy of number 90. Number 90 is really good in this build, just basically uses a monster negate. We then play a single copy of the Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire is great in this deck and actually helps us get into our basically Shining Sarcophagus cards, because if you mill to the graveyard your copy of your Gadget Trio, you can bring it back to your side of the field, use its effect, and then basically step into your entire Shining Sarcophagus engine, which is great because it will search out your copy of Shining Sarcophagus, activate it, search Ties That Bind, and set up your entire plays, which is so cool. We then make a single copy of Coach King Giant Trainer. This is another card that actually helps us out a lot. and why I actually play the third name in the deck for the Horus engine, because this card also helps us get into our Shining Sarcophagus engine. This card is great because this card has the ability you can detach a material in this card, draw a card, reveal it, and if it's a monster, inflict 800 points of damage to your opponent, but you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. And you can use this effect up to thrice per turn, and it requires 3 level 8s to make this card, which is why I play 3 different Horus names in the deck. So I can step into this card with the Horus engine if we open it up first, then basically step into the Shining Sarcophagus engine second, which is so cool to be able to do because it basically gives you the access to draw 3 cards in a single turn. So we can basically guarantee we're going to open up one of our starters for our Shining Sarcophagus engine. We then might assume a copy of Dingirsu. Dingirsu is just really good overall, especially to help us step into a copy of Zeus, and it's a fantastic card overall in the deck to help you send a card to the graveyard when it's summoned. We then might assume a copy of Zeus. Zeus is amazing to use as a board wipe in this deck. Play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is really good in just about every single deck. To use this card as a bounce and a negate for 3,000 or higher attack point monsters. Play a single copy of Underworld Goddess to basically make this card as an out to a towers, which is great to be able to do. Play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's easy to summon in this deck, and a really cool card overall to help you summon out to your side of the field and pop multiple cards on the field, and it's an amazing boss monster in the deck. Plus it comes out absolutely massive. And play a single copy of the Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. You guys know I had to put a Blackluster Soldier somewhere in this deck because it is Yugi's deck. And this card is really cool because if it's link summon using a level 7 or higher monster as a material, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either. And with the Horus engine, it makes it so much easier to summon this card in the deck, which is one of the reasons I really like playing the Horus engine in this particular build. But it also has the ability that when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, navigate one of these effects to either make it gain 1500 attack, make a second attack during the following battle phase, or banish a card non-targeting from the field, which is insane. We might assume a copy of Selene so we can link climb into our copy of Access Code, one copy of the Dark Charmer because it's very easy to step into this card and it's a really cool card overall in the deck. We might assume a copy of SP. SP is easy to summon in this build and just a really good double interruption. And then finally play a single copy of IP. IP is really good in the deck overall to be able to summon out to your side of the field and either step into SP during the opponent's turn or a copy of Underworld Goddess as an interruption, which is really amazing. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is so fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Shining Sarcophagus deck, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's really fun to be able to play in Master Duel, and it's so fun to be able to just summon out your copy of Dragoon finally in Master Duel, especially in Yugi's deck. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.